No, 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 no. Stop it, John. You're going to get me a copyright strike. Get out of here. So in 1999, Star Wars Episode 1 finally released to some, well, mixed reception. However, even those who were quite critical of the film still tended to agree the pod racing scene, it was pretty sweet. So imagine how happy we were when we found out a day prior to Episode 1's release, LucasArts had actually released Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for PC and Nintendo 64, taking arguably one of the best parts of the movie and making a full fleshed out game. Turned out to be a huge success for LucasArts, selling over 3.12 million copies and actually holding the Guinness World Record for best-selling sci-fi racing game all the way up till 2011, beating well-known titles like F-Zero and even Wipeout. But that was back then. How about today? Is it just a relic of the past, or now that it has been re-released on Switch and PS4, is it still worth buying? Well, let's boot her up and check it out. Damn it, John. When you get to the main screen, you can choose between free play and tournament mode, or even actually time trials if you're still playing on the Nintendo 64. Overall, unless you're playing with your friends, I don't really think there's any mode that's really worth messing around with other than tournament mode, at least in my opinion. So let's go ahead and hop on in. Now, unlike most tournament modes in racing games, you more or less kind of play a manager, being able to choose between 6 racers at first, and each race you win actually unlocking a new character and their pod racer as well. Overall, there are 23 racers to choose from classics like Anakin, still voiced by Jake Lloyd, Sebulba, Dud Bolt, Clegg Holdfast, my boy Odie Mandrell, and of course the fan favorite Ben Quadaneros. As you play through the tournament, you can actually swap between racers whenever you like, and the credits you earn can be used to upgrade your pod racers. Parts can either be bought for full price from Watto in his shop, or if you're feeling lucky, you can take a peek in the junkyard and see if you can't find anything good at a lower price. Fair warning though, if you choose the junkyard, you will have to endure Watto's non-stop dialogue.
Colpada Bunky Dunko, you race pretty good, no doubts there, huh? Have you seen my chance cube? They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy?
I know, almost too horrendous to bear. But after picking your pod and getting it all kitted out, it's time to actually race, and oh man does this game actually still hold up really well. The gameplay's simple, yet because of that, it actually holds up really well to a test of time. On computer, the WASD controls directions, arrow keys control speed, and left shift the boost. The keyboard actually works really well with many of these older style racers, mostly just because a lot of them actually require a lot of kind of quick reaction times. And with that kind of more twitchy gameplay and interesting map layouts, the game really does give you a sense of speed and adrenaline.
You must have Jedi reflexes if you race bar.
Well, not quite. The game's actually relatively forgiving when it comes to crashing into sides, and it uses a health bar on your engines that can even be repaired if you're actually quick enough to catch it. But so long as you don't run into anything for the most part head on, you'll normally be just fine. As you go through the tournament, the tracks do become a lot more dangerous, but even if you do die, you just simply respawn and keep on going. It's actually very easy to recover from most crashes. And speaking of the tournament, there are 3 main tournaments with 7 races, with the final tier being the Bunta Eve Classic from the movie. And just wow, they did such a good job recreating the scene. But let's take a look at some of the other tracks first before I just start fanboying all over just that one alone. So each tier had the same planets overall, but each of them taking place in different areas. Now what I mean by that is each race on a planet will typically begin around the same spot, however the track will push you down different routes each level. And you would actually think this would cause a lack of diverse location and then just a sense of repetitiveness, but it actually doesn't. It's actually done so well. You would even be forgiven for not even noticing. A great example of this is Planet Ando Prime. Both tracks start in the same location, but the change in route feels so different, but at the same time feels just like they would actually be right there next to each other. It's actually fascinating how they did it. And just like the maps, the planets actually also have such a unique feel. From deserts to Arctic tundras, forests to asteroid prisons, and just many more, the biome diversity is substantial. One race you'll be speeding through a volcano, the next you'll be through 0G. Again, it's just crazy the amount of content and tracks that this game actually had at release. But let's take a look at what is truly one of my favorite maps in the game, the Boonta Eve Classic. So because the game was actually in development before the movie was actually released, the track actually includes some portions from the deleted scenes, such as the Jawas or Saboba's flamethrower. But overall, LucasArts did a just amazing job faithfully recreating all the scenes from the movie and putting them together in just such a full-form just pod racing track. From the caverns, the Tuscans, the arches, and of course the winding canyons. The track feels so much like the movie. And that's not to say the other maps are lacking at all. Endo Prime might be one of my favorite planets, and Barunda has some crazy diverse locations, from beaches and swamps and volcanoes. There's just so much to see and race through in this game. But just like how the Force has a light and dark side, there is one map that is just truly evil: Abyss. Ah, damn it. Ah! Ah! What the f***? Damn it! Mother f***er. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't do this. Ooh, that's just too much. As I was saying, Abyss is just an evil, terrible map. Fall off the upper levels just one time during the 3 laps, and you will lose. There is no way to recover. It is done. Good day, sir. To say it is unfair is an understatement. It took me almost a straight hour to finally beat it, and after it did, the game was so shocked by it, it just crashed. I got it. I freaking got it. Yeah! Yes. I've officially done it. I've officially beaten the entire... Did the game just crash? Oh no. Oh no. Please tell me it saved. No! Come on. I finally did complete it again, but honestly, I'm not sure if it was actually worth it. But I guess if you do complete it, then you will be among the few who I actually know who has actually beaten every track in the game. Just, wow, is this just an awful, awful map. Overall, Star Wars Racer is just a blast from the past, a time when racers were all trying new and interesting gimmicks, track designs, and really pushing things to the limit. Today's Star Wars Racer still really holds up, and if you're interested in playing it, it's currently available on Steam and even an HD version on both the Switch and PlayStation 4. Now, before I go, I do want to bring up a question I hear all the time about this game. Why is it called Star Wars Episode 1 Racer instead of Pod Racer? It actually turns out there was a gaming company that already owned the trademark to any pod-related racing titles. And if you're interested in that game, go ahead and click over here to the right where we actually already have a full review on it here on this channel. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be talking again real soon.